Imagine 4 times more views than you typically drive. Turns out the content strategy that I had devised just weeks earlier was really paying off. And it wasn't so much about exploiting the YouTube algorithm, it was more about really identifying one thing that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt, the algorithm rewards, and creating a strategy completely around that. And yes, this'll work for you, no matter your age, race, creed, religion, your niche on YouTube or lack thereof. And even if you're just getting started, follow this system and be amazed. Now, do this, click on the like and/or subscribe button so you don't miss a future video, and let's jump in. You see, this strategy really leverages the path of least resistance by focusing on this, new. Because it's pretty common knowledge that the algorithm boosts new videos, but sadly that boost wears off after a week or so. So my strategy had to address for the drop-off. This is what I came up with. While the strategy really focuses on new, it also would really create a 4-step system. Each step building and increasing the views based on the last. All of these steps work together to really create a powerful system. Step number 1 is to publish engaging videos as deemed by the viewers, and to focus on the metrics that the YouTube algorithm measures, the metrics that you can study yourself to really identify the engagement level in things like average view duration, views, how many subscribers a video is gaining, the CTR or impression click-through rate, as well as things like likes versus dislikes, end screen element clicks, as well as this last one thing, which is to bring new viewers back to your channel. That'll allow you not to drive 1 view when someone finds your channel or video, but 3 or 4 videos as they binge watch your catalog. And here's the good news. Because the strategy really leverages this new factor, and it's not just about that your video is actually new, it's that we're gonna strive to create a new viewing experience. We're gonna create videos that are different than what is already on YouTube, allowing the viewer to get the sense of, I've never watched a video like this before, and that makes your channel and video a destination for future subscribers, which ultimately keeps them watching longer and triggers the YouTube algorithm. Now here's the good news. This system is actually really easy. We're gonna let go of a lot of the stuff we typically do when making videos. And that's the easy part. In fact, here's a video that took just a few hours to create, and yet it drove 17,000 views and gained my channel over 232 subscribers. And I did that in just a few hours. The video had great engagement, including high CTR and subscriber gain, and it was based on something new. Now, if you're like, well, there's nothing new I can talk about, then what I recommend you do is to take a popular topic that's already doing well. Like, this is a great example. This is a video type, YouTube changed my life, that really was doing well across a number of channels. So I made my version about how YouTube changed my life, even at 50 years old. And guess what? It did really fantastic. So you can take something old and add your own spice into it, add your own flavor, and it becomes new. Now, a lot of YouTubers will say there's a problem with striving to create content based on new topics. And that is, someone always beats me to the punch, right? Someone already has published a video on the topic, and then I'm left out. Fact is, still do it anyway. I think what you'll find is because it's not just based on your title and your thumbnail, it's based on a number of things, and you can still publish that video and you may be surprised. Further off, the more we just do instead of think and overanalyze, the more likely we can really increase the skills that matter and we get what we want. You dig? Now, I mentioned bringing viewers back, and this graph really highlights that. Notice this one video gained over 16,000 views. The new viewers actually totaled 10,000 plus. 10,476 of those viewers were new. And then what I want to value and measure is how many of those new viewers actually returned to my channel for a second viewing. And that number was 1,500 in 39. And this video had high performance. Now, you can actually track this inside of your YouTube analytics by going to the audience tab, and then notice this particular graph is right on top on the left. And this brings me to item number 2, which is really about capitalizing on the browse algorithm. If you're wondering what that is, it's simply when a viewer logs onto YouTube. So, they log on and they're scrolling, and then the algorithm is going to identify a video it believes the viewer, so me, a video I want to watch. And this is what they say about how they make that determination. As an example, consider the user's past history with the channel that uploaded the video being scored. How many videos has the user watched from this channel? If you're just getting started, that answer will be 1, but follow this game plan or strategy and it might be 2 or 3, which means when that viewer comes online, so I come online, and if I've watched 2 or 3 videos from your channel, YouTube is going to be very likely to serve me your next video because it sees I'm highly engaged with your channel. Really powerful and really important. And then item number 3 is we want to craft and create videos quickly and easily, and we're going to do just that by letting go of so many of the things that slow us down. However, it's important to value that the videos we publish still have to be loved by the target audience, the people we're creating videos for. So we're going to let go of a lot of the things you typically hear people spending a lot of time with, like video editing. A lot of the videos that I've published about 2 months ago didn't have much editing, and yet they drove tens of thousands of views. Why? Because I focused on one very important thing. We'll get to that as we continue. So this strategy is really easy to implement, but it's also easy to mess up. This video was a 10 out of 10 and it really didn't connect with my viewers. I think the delivery was a bit off. The topic also not really in alignment, and it didn't do well. I'll cover how to create videos quickly and easily as we move forward. For now, let's go on to step number 4. And item number 4 is really honoring your specific target audience. One audience that are interested in one specific thing, like fishing, photography, gaming, or whatever. And this is the clincher. That alone is easy to understand, and you've probably heard it hundreds of times. But what's more important is that you honor a specific strategy like the one I'm laying out now, that you stay on target and you keep uploading. It reminds me of a really great quote, a quote from James Clear, who says, "You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." This is from a book called Atomic Habits, and it's so important to have a system down that you can follow, a blueprint that you can follow so you can understand what's truly most important. And then item number 5 is to bring viewers back to your channel, and we're going to do that by really doing a number of things in a very specific manner. Because as mentioned, the goal is not to get views, but to bring a viewer back. Notice here it says videos growing your channel, and then new viewers who returned, and my video on the YouTube algorithm was very high, meaning a lot of new viewers returned to my channel, and that's how we grow. You really want to make sure you're measuring this and looking at the things you can improve as you upload videos. Things like your audio, your lighting, your storytelling, your titles, thumbnails, and more. However, so many creators get focused on things like this: when to upload a video or when your viewers are on YouTube. It just doesn't matter that much. A much better way to think about this is, if you're wondering, does this really matter? Think about what you value as a viewer. Do you care what time someone uploads a video? Probably not. You probably do value whether or not you really love the video. And the way we can do that is to really focus on one specific niche, like one game, and we can create a lot of videos on that one game and we can go deep. And as mentioned, we want to work fast and slow. If we know the algorithm is going to boost our video for 1, or if we're lucky, maybe 2 days, and we can double the amount of videos we publish, then we'll have more videos that are leveraging this new boost. And furthermore, what's so powerful is that if you do this and you follow up and you go deep in a niche, right? You create a lot of videos on very specific topics around one game, or maybe around container gardening. That would be a second example. Then it's likely that someone comes in, watches one video, and indeed watches a second. But how do we actually reduce the time it takes to make videos so we can publish more? Well, the first thing to do is just know you're going to stay in one specific niche. Number two is to do in-depth keyword research around that very thing, around your specific niche, and have videos you want to create like that. When you feel inspired, you don't have to think of a topic. You go to your list of keyword phrases, you choose one, you make the video. Now I've got a new updated incredible video coming out on keyword research. I'll link you to that video at the end of this video, and or there are tons of videos on my channel covering keyword research. Another thing is I don't do a lot of planning. There are two ways to think about creating videos. One is where you write out, you script, you perfectly plan videos step by step. This video is pretty much that. I'm kind of ad-libbing, but I'm following a detailed script that took hours to create. I probably spent 4 hours on the script alone. And yet this video on the algorithm update, or the YouTube update rather, it took me hours start to finish. There was no scripting. And what I did to make that happen was I just got in front of the camera and I just spoke to the camera like a friend. I covered the information the best I could, and maybe I've got a few bullet points, but I really want to reduce the amount of time with research to the bare minimum. And the power of that is it allows me to focus on the number one skill you can have as a YouTuber. And that's how you appear on camera, your communication, your voiceover, your body language, and more. The more time you spend filming or live streaming, the more time you have to really bolster this powerful skill that all huge YouTubers have. Bar none. Also, most of these videos that I get done in maybe 3 or 4 hours, they have minimal video editing. I can spend hours and hours, 10, 20 hours editing one video. But fact of the matter is, when you've got great information and your delivery is pretty darn good, that alone is plenty to really connect with an audience. So obviously, the more videos you create, the more time you have to really practice your delivery, and the more likely you don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of time editing. You already know it's kind of a trend right now to be authentic, to be yourself. Channels like The Wizard Lives and so many others have minimal editing, no thumbnails, average titles, and they're crushing it because nothing is more important than how you show up on YouTube as well as your voiceover. And then lastly, my titles and my thumbnails. You know what? They don't grow a channel. You might have heard Mr. Beast say, well, if they don't click, they can't watch. But the fact of the matter is, even if you get a click, they have to watch most of your video. They have to deeply engage and subscribe. They have to do a bunch of things that the algorithm sees is really a reflection of the fact that they love your video content. And if that's not the case, it won't matter. So for me, I started using Canva and I create my thumbnails really fast, really quickly. I use the same system over and over again, and that's it. Sometimes I make my video titles and thumbnails on my iPad. Other times I use Canva, and it doesn't matter. Find one system that you can use to create a thumbnail and duplicate that and use that again and again. Again, the more videos you make, the more thumbnails you make. And when you do this working fast, you'll actually really bolster your skills, not just communicating on camera, but all of the things. Now, there's one other thing that's really powerful and can help you trigger the algorithm to get more views. And this video on the screen now covers just that. Click that video, I'll see you there, and when you do, you'll feed a poodle. You dig?